Hi Bellwood, we are back with 1984 graduate Tim Mercer. He is back from Florida with us to film again for Forgotten Bellwood. And today we are going to talk about our gyms. So it has been widely recognized that we are successful in all of our sports, but today we are going to talk about where one of the gyms is that magic happens. Tim, why are we standing in the auditorium if we're going to talk about the gyms?
That's actually a really good question, Maya. It would seem odd if we're going to talk about our gymnasiums. Why are we in the middle of the auditorium? But if you remember in one of our earlier episodes, we talked about in 1930, when this school was originally built, that our auditorium actually served multiple purposes. It was a cafeteria, it was our gymnasium, and it was also our auditorium. And in 1963, when our first major remodeling occurred here at the school, where they actually added an exclusive gym to the other end of the school, this was remodeled and it was made then into a permanent auditorium. They sloped the floor, put in permanent seating and the permanent stage, and it was only then used as an auditorium.
The way it is now.
Yeah, but for 33 years, this is where all the basketball and wrestling, this is where everything took place, in this gymnasium. / auditorium.
So where is the gym they built?
It's on the far end of the school. If you want to just walk down with me, I'll show you that gymnasium.
Okay. As you can see, we are on South 2nd Street in front of our what is our middle school gym now, but Tim is going to tell us about when it was constructed in '64.
Okay, Maya. Yeah, actually this construction, the plans had started in 1963 and was finished in 1964. So then this replaced our original gym, which we were just at in the auditorium. When this was first built, this actually took care of grades 6 through 12, all their sports, all gym classes, and even hosted our dances here.
Yeah.
And it went on until the 80s, whenever our newest building was built.
Okay, we are going to go inside.
What's very interesting too, and we're inside of the lobby right now of our middle school gym. Again, this is the one that was constructed in 1963, 1964. But there are trophy cases on both sides of this lobby. And if you go and take the time and look at these trophies, you'll see some of them date back as far as the 1960s. So again, it just shows how rich of a tradition that Bellwood has in their sports. The newly built and newly refurbished high school gym. So Tim, on you. All right, well Maya, whenever we had what would be the second major remodeling of the school, in addition, in the late 80s and early 90s, they added this high school gym. So the gym that we were just in, again, I told you in 1963, 1964, when that was built, that was used for grades 6 through 12. Now that's exclusively used for middle school gym classes and our wrestling program. Here we're standing inside our newest gymnasium, again, built in the late 80s, early 90s. This is now exclusively used for our high school gym classes. And in here you'll see both our men's and women's basketball teams and our volleyball teams participate here.
Like you said, it was newly refurbished, the floor, the bleachers, so on and so forth. So what specifically is redone in here as of last year?
Again, it went from the late 80s until this past year in its original condition. So it was time then to kind of upgrade it a little bit, especially after winning some state championships in basketball. So in 2018 and into 2019, we had a facelift done here inside of our gymnasium. Put a brand new floor. The entire floor was sanded down. If you remember, our three-point line had blue paint inside of it. That's all gone now. They've done a two-tone wood stain to the floor. We have brand new bleachers in our gym. The walls were all repainted, and but prior to that, they had to take down all these banners, again, which shows all the success of Bellwood sports throughout the years.
With the new bleachers, we got more bleachers?
I think they're about the same size. I think they're a little higher quality. They're now wooden instead of that plastic material.
But like I think we added a second row to this side.
Well, what happened was in the middle, if you remember, we had those big bifolding doors that came across to separate this into 2 rooms for gym classes. They could have 2 gym classes going at one time. Well, when you had those doors, it took up a large section of bleachers because it went all the way and mounted against the wall. So they removed that. So we actually added a section of bleachers in the middle, which gives it more seating. And they put above us, you see a big curtain now that drops down whenever they're going to have gym classes. So that still allows them to have multiple gym classes going on at one time.
And that's also nice just from a student's perspective now. Like he was saying with the doors, it obviously cut out pieces of the bleachers, but it also closed the whole room off. Now the curtain comes down and you can still walk around it past the bleachers. So there's even more space in gym class too, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but again, it's so much brighter in here, and it's now worthy of the success that we have on the court, especially again with our state championships that we have. We should certainly be playing on a facility like this.
Yeah. Do you think there's any chance of, in the last episode we talked about there was supposed to be a lobby out on this outer wall. Do you think there's ever going to be another facelift that we get a
Probably not in any time soon. I would say that would probably be years from now whenever it's time to again refurbish our school.
Okay.
Maya, we've talked about, and we visited the gyms, we've talked about all the success we've had inside on the court and all of our different sports here at Bellwood. But you know, we've had a lot of success outside, and a lot of it has occurred back behind where we are now.
What is that, Tim?
That is Memorial Field, and there's a lot of history that has happened there.